What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Mock Draft Guy YouTube channel. And today we are rolling right along with our 7 round team mock drafts for the 2024 NFL Draft. And we have landed on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars are a very interesting case for me. First thing I want to say is I feel like the Jaguars do not get enough coverage, whether that be through articles or YouTube coverage, anything like that. I feel like I could never get anything on what the Jaguars are actually doing. So I would love to show them a little bit more love. I think that their fan base is super cool. I've met a lot of really cool fans of theirs on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But I think they deserve a little bit more love. Number two, this is going to be a very line heavy draft, I feel like. In this 7 round mock, I'm going to look to maybe trade down slightly from 17. I'm not too keen on it. Having a decent amount of picks inside the top 100, I'm not really looking for it. Maybe moving down from, 17 to the early 20s, maybe something will pique my interest there. But I'm really looking to bolster with a new defensive coordinator and Ryan Nielsen. The personnel needs to be switched up a little bit, especially in the secondary. Corner is something that I'm going to look at very, very early on. Interior offensive line, defensive line, and wide receiver, of course. So let's see what we can do in this 7 round mock. All right, so we are sitting here at number 17, and I didn't find any trades that really piqued my interest at number 17. I think the 49ers wanted to move up from number 31, but that's too rich for my blood to move down here. We need to acquire some premium talent. And there's a tremendous amount of premium talent on the board here at number 17. Laiatu Latu is an interesting choice that I probably wouldn't think would still be on the board right here, but certainly interesting. Could go best player available. Jerzon Newton, of course, I think fills a massive need for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm really looking at a couple other guys here. I'm looking at Brian Thomas Jr. I'm looking at Quinyon Mitchell as well. This is going to be a tough choice for me, but understand one thing about Ryan Nielsen's defense is that he likes to play a lot of press man. There's not too many very well-versed corners in this draft class in press man or basically anything that encompasses a defense. So you got someone like Quinyon Mitchell that's sitting right here that is extremely well versed in any defensive scheme. He's a fantastic zone corner. He's a great off-man corner, but he really proved to us at the Senior Bowl that he can press and he has the recovery speed needed to be a press cover man as well. This might not be the most popular decision, but I think that we're going to see some massive changes in the secondary. Darius Williams, 31 years old, a little bit on the smaller side, doesn't do well in press man, could be a cap casualty. I think we're going to see a revamp of the secondary in Jacksonville. And I know a lot of people are going to scream for Jackson Powers Johnson. They're going to scream for Jerzon Newton or Byron Murphy here. I get it. Don't get me wrong. But number one, I drafted Jackson Powers Johnson last video to the Seattle Seahawks, so I don't really like to redraft, the same player too many times, especially if I just did it in the video before. I feel like that seems a little bit lazy and a little unrealistic. So I'm going to go with Quinyon Mitchell here because this just fits exactly what Nielsen's looking for his defense. I know we will get help for Trevor Lawrence. We will, but Quinyon Mitchell is going to be my pick here at number 17. At number 48 here, I'm going to address the offensive line. I feel like a lot of Jags fans feel like the interior of the offensive line is the number one need. I kind of agree with you guys on that one. I don't know. I go back and forth between defensive line, offensive line, interior of the offensive line, and secondary. But Zach Frazier is here at number 48. And I'll be the first to admit, I think the best interior offensive lineman in the entire draft class is Jackson Powers Johnson. But the best pure center in the entire draft class for me is Zach Frazier. This guy, if you haven't seen what he does to opposing defensive linemen, you're in for a real treat if you check out his highlight tape. He's a fantastic player. He's an absolute mauler. He's going to be one of those guys. He's been a little overshadowed lately by Jackson Powers Johnson and how incredible his rise to superstardom has been over the past month, 6 weeks around there. But Zach Frazier is still an absolute dog of a prospect. And I think that with this value, we would have to take Jackson Powers Johnson at 17. We're getting a day one starting center that is awesome. At number 48, I feel like we can't pass that up. So I'm going to take Zach Frazier here at number 48. At number 79 here, I have to dip into the wide receiver pool here. This was tough for me between wide receiver and defensive tackle here, defensive line in general. But there's a lot of guys to like, maybe at number 96 or 116. I'm just letting you guys know now. I'm probably going to be double dipping at wide receiver here. But Jalen McMillan is on the board at number 79. I feel like that's someone we have to take. 6'1", 192 pounds. Someone that's going to run between the high 4.3s and the low 4.4s. So you're going to get that great boundary speed that I feel like they could be losing if Calvin Ridley decides to walk. I'm operating this mock draft with the idea that Zay Jones will be a cap casualty and that Calvin Ridley has walked in free agency as well. So we're going to have to really add some weapons to the offense. Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram can't do it alone. So Jalen McMillan's going to be the pick here for me. Someone that had a great year last year, had a little bit of injury trouble this past year. He was overshadowed by Rome Odunze, Jalen Polk, Dylan Johnson, guys like that. So I'm looking for him to very quietly go under the radar throughout this draft cycle and be a real impact player from day one for any team that drafts him. And today just so happens to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, this is absolutely awesome at number 96. This is who I was kind of hoping would be on the board. Didn't expect him to be on the board here. At number 96, I'm going to take Braden Fisk, defensive tackle from Florida State. Someone that kind of does it all. He did it all for the Florida State Seminoles. Someone that is going to be great in that 5 tech or that 7 tech in the odd front. He's someone that's 6'6", 295 pounds, 6 sacks last year, 6 sacks the year before. He's a stout run defender as well. This is something that's just so needed for the Jacksonville Jaguars on the interior. So you have to figure that Foley Fatukasi, again, is going to be a cap casualty. Hasn't really lived up to that contract hype. So I would look for someone like Braden Fisk to kind of replace him. Maybe not so much at the nose tackle position, but in one of those tech positions on the outside, 5 tech, 7 tech, something around there in those different gaps. So he's going to offer a lot in the pass rushing department, and he's going to offer a lot in run support as well. And that's exactly what I'm looking for here at number 96. At number 116 here for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to look back to the offensive line here. Dominic Pooney is someone that I really, really like, that kind of just solidified himself at the Senior Bowl as someone that could really be that Swiss Army knife on the offensive line. He, a former 0-star recruit playing in Division II football, he transferred to Kansas. He split starts 3 ways between left tackle, right tackle, and I believe it was right guard as well. So he's got a lot of experience. He was taking snaps at the Senior Bowl at the center position as well. This is just someone that I feel like a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars could really use. They always have some type of hole somewhere, either at the tackle position or the interior offensive line position. This is someone that could legitimately start in all 5 spots on the offensive line, and they would absolutely take advantage of his talents. Yeah, number 151, I'm going to double dip at wide receiver here. I didn't expect Javon Baker to still be on the board at this point, but that's someone that I'm absolutely going to take. 6'2", 210 pounds. He is a contested catch king down the field. Now, you might say, a lot of people, when they hear a contested catch king, someone that, excels in that area, they think right away that they cannot separate. Javon Baker can definitely separate. He's a route running technician as well. This is someone on the boundary that is going to be really, really good in, like I said, those 50-50 balls in the red zone. This is one that I think could be a real sleeper and make a huge impact right away from day one. So I'm going to double dip. Like I said, Jalen McMillan, you get that speed on the outside, maybe someone that could play in the slot as well, just that game-changing speed. And then you get someone like Javon Baker, who's probably going to run somewhere in the 4.5s, but he can separate naturally, and he can go up and get it at any point in those 50-50 balls. At 194 here, we're going to take Cedric Johnson from Ole Miss, an explosive athlete, 6'3", 262 pounds, has the ideal frame and speed and explosiveness to play outside linebacker or maybe even play on the line in odd front, maybe an obvious pass rushing downs, 3rd and long, something like that. Any long, second and long, can't really be a 1st and long unless there's a penalty. 2nd and long, 3rd and long, stuff like that. This is someone that's just someone early in his career that's probably going to be purely a pass rusher while he develops the rest of his game. But he's so explosive off the line of scrimmage. He's got such a different pass rushing bag that I think that a team could really, really take advantage of him. And with Josh Allen right now up in the air, you never know. I assume that he will definitely be back on a long-term contract. That probably should be priority number 1 this offseason. But Cedric Johnson is someone that could be just a beautiful rotational backup to those guys like Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen. At number 210 here, I'm going to take Renardo Green from Florida State, someone that I really like as a versatile defensive back. This is someone that's going to be a backup corner. He's going to play safety as well. This is just a really nice piece. He was easily the best defensive player at the East-West Shrine game a few weeks back as well. So someone that his name is definitely out there on the internet and whatever you could find tape on him if you're curious as well. Someone that I think that could develop to be a really nice rotational third safety, someone that can be a backup corner, could even play in the slot as well. Just at this point in the draft, we're looking at some very valuable depth pieces that, low risk, high reward, and that's exactly what Renardo Green is. So I'm going to take him here at number 210. At number 233, I'm going to round out this mock draft here by taking probably a developmental nose tackle here with the last pick, Evan Anderson from Florida Atlantic University, 6 foot, 330 pounds. He's literally like a bowling ball. He's a fantastic run defender, and I feel like that's really what we're kind of missing in this draft to make it really, in my opinion, I think it's a great draft, but others probably will think otherwise, of course, and that's completely okay. That's what these videos are for. But Evan Anderson is someone that I really like, someone that could come in, be valuable depth for a position that's been rather thin the last couple years for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to come in there, depth, maybe a rotation play every once in a while. He's someone that's probably going to play 30-40% of the snaps, but for number 233, that's pretty much what we're looking for at this point. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There is our full 7-round 2024 Jacksonville Jaguars mock draft. Let's recap it real quick. No trades in this one, which is something that's very rare for me nowadays. But at number 17, we took Quinyon Mitchell. At number 48, we took Zach Frazier. At number 79, we took Jalen McMillan. 96, we took Braden Fisk. 116, we took Dominic Pooney. 151, we took Javon Baker. 194, we took Cedric Johnson. 210, we took Renardo Green, and 233, we took Evan Anderson. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. I really, really appreciate you guys checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.